So, do you feel like it's hopeless sometimes? We can talk about all kinds of change and positive change that we want to make within business or our lives, and it comes slow. And sometimes you wonder if it's going to come at all. And it can feel overwhelming. The odds can feel overwhelming, and that's understandable. We need to be able to find a way to encourage ourselves in the middle of that if we're ever going to achieve anything, though. We know it's going to be hard. Usually, it just ends up being harder than we thought. I know for myself, I can get discouraged when I look at everything that we're trying to do and the positive effects we're trying to have. And then you wonder, is it making any difference? Is it hopeless? Well, let's find some hope today on the Daily Dance.
Welcome to the Daily Dance with your host, Brad Richardson.
Welcome back to the Daily Dance, guys. It is Wednesday, July 29th, and very happy to be back on the air with you. We've had a little disruption in some schedules with family coming through, but priorities. Hope you all have the same priorities. It matters. We only get so much time on this green earth, and we need to make the most of it. And family comes first. So, hope you're having a great day. I hope your week is off to a good, I'd say, a good start. We're at halfway point now, aren't we? It's moving by fast. Before we get into today's topic, it is the Daily Dance. Thank you for joining. Please be sure to share with others if you find anything beneficial here, and I hope you do. You can find us on X and LinkedIn and Rumble and YouTube, and would love it if you would find us on Locals and join the community there. There really isn't much of a community yet, but we want to build a community there. So I would love it if you would subscribe there, be notified when a new episode is going live, and eventually so that we can have some great discussions there around the topics that come up. That would be wonderful. But with the Daily Dance, we also do our Daily Dance. And now the Daily Dance is a rule that before you start the day, step out of the house, start your work day, need to do a little dance to get yourself going. And so we do another daily dance here together, a group daily dance. It can be your makeup, or it can be another dance, maybe a reboost to get you going in the middle of the day. It's kind of silly. It's supposed to be. Hopefully we just don't take ourselves that seriously and get ourselves out of ourselves so that we can do better and do more. So without further ado, let's do our daily dance. Sorry, got the audio fixed there. Let me start that again. So if you're watching podcasts like this, and if you're watching podcasts, reading books by people like Gary Vee or Adam Grant or Simon Sinek, you want to make things better, and that's a good thing. You want to make things better, and that's a good thing, but it can be discouraging because sometimes some things don't change at all. Some things just don't change as fast as we would like, usually. Sometimes we just don't see the change, or it doesn't come in the form that we expected or wanted, and it can get discouraging. And so the question that sometimes, maybe just on the down days, that we end up asking, is it hopeless? Is it hopeless? Uh, is there? Are we really going to be able to move the needle and have things be done better? I was able to have a wonderful conversation with an old uh, associate, work associate, and who works for a business that seems to me that they really are doing things well, and they really have over the years enacted good change, good principle change in their business, just the structure of how they do everything based on conviction so that real change happened. In other words, I'm contrasting this against sometimes we just hear great speeches. Someone casts a great vision, but then we never see things happen in practice within someone's life or within a business or within even politics and countries, right? We have people saying a lot of things, but then we don't see anything change at all. And this is a company where it was so encouraging to see and hear how they operate and how it's come about and the way that they develop their people, and it's a high trust environment, and they're succeeding greatly, wildly because of it. And so it's not just that they've been able to do it; they've been able to do it, and it works. They've been able to do it, and it works. They have the results to show for it. Um, but it struck me of how much of an anomaly that seemed to be. When I was listening to it, I was thrilled to hear how they're doing, but then I had a little pause because it made me realize how rare it seems to be that you find a company that is actually following through and doing what so many of us only talk about and read about. They're actually applying the principles that we read with regard to accountability and transparency, and the best idea wins, and all these things, that they're actually accomplishing that and doing it. And it's just more rare than it ought to be. But I want to throw that out there because it isn't hopeless. You can make change. And even if you're in a business where you won't be able to make a wholesale change, I'm still convinced and have the conviction that you can move the needle, as I say. You can make it better. Maybe it's not going to get where you'd want it to be, but you can make it better. I think it's important for us to realize that we can. Otherwise, you're not going to try. And so let's dive in. And my first thought is just that, ideas are powerful. Ideas, good ideas, true ideas are powerful. Unfortunately, bad ideas actually are powerful too, right? We've seen bad ideas destroy the world. But ideas are powerful. And you need to remember that because sometimes we can get intimidated, I think, by the fact that not enough people are going to hear my idea, or I'm not being listened to. Online, it can be frustrating when you're communicating online and the algorithm is not working in your favor, right? Can anybody relate to that? And you think, well, it just, I've got like two people that are listening. Well, if you have a good idea, a good and true idea, and you're able to pass that along to two people, and then they each pass that along to two and to two, right? Okay, we change the world. You do. Slow at first, fast in the end, two people at a time will work. So remember that. Remember that. Good and true ideas are powerful, and you don't need to worry about having huge influence. Just focus on the fact that what you're pushing for, continue to double check that you're on the right path, that it is true and good. The idea that you're pressing for, it is helpful. It is loving at its base. And if you push that forward, when that idea gets out in the open, when true and good ideas get out in the open, what's the old saying? Truth doesn't need to be defended. You just let it loose, right? So let it loose. Let truth loose. Continue to patiently, politely advocate for what is good and true, and then watch it defend itself, watch it get out into the wild, as it were, and watch it spread. And it will. You have to have a little faith on that, because ideas are powerful things. Never underestimate that. Now, as you dig in, then remember too that some things are just worth doing. Some things are just worth doing. And that produces a different type of conviction. If it's important enough, you'll do it regardless, right? If it's important enough to do, you'll do it regardless. And it's just one of those upside down ideas where, as you let go and you do something simply because of the value of what you're doing, and you say that I have this firm conviction, this deep conviction, this is just worth doing, and you have that type of conviction, of course, what then happens? Quite often, it ends up taking off because you have surrendered the need to see results, and you're going to do the right thing anyway. And so you do that boldly, and that boldness produces a result, and it draws people in to what you're trying to accomplish. So, but the mindset that is so healthy and helpful with that starts it off is just realizing this is worth doing. I have this conviction, so I'm going to do it regardless of the results. And that's going to give you boldness to go on ahead. And at the end of the day, it will at least change you. You may not change anything else around you, but if it changes you for the better, then things are going to change for the better in the end. You become a better person. You're on a better path. You become, I don't know, more loving, more productive, more whatever that you need to be, and everyone around you is going to benefit. So it will at least change you, which is another reason why it's just worth doing. This came to mind. I really don't know. Maybe I'm stretching a little bit here and trying to relate it to the topic today. But just this article, this comes around online every so often. Just Tom Brady and his famous advice that life is hard to be successful at anything. Truth is, you do not have to be special. You just have to be what most people are not: consistent, determined, and willing to work for it. No shortcuts. And I think I think that applies to so many things. I think it applies to anything that we're trying to do business-wise as well. When Brady came into the NFL, there was no reason to predict the kind of career he would have. That I can recall, that I see when writing about just his physical abilities, everything else. But his willingness to work at things, to dig in, just do I have enough raw material to work with, and then I can get to work. That is a great attitude to take, and I believe we can apply that in this whole sphere as well. You don't have to look and go, wow, well, if I'm trying to see business change this way, or I'm trying to get this, be this type of person within business, or attain to this level, or whatever it is, and I just don't see that I'm going to get there. So what, you give up? Well, Brady could have done that at the beginning of his career. He was second string behind a quarterback with phenomenal physical giftings, Bledsoe, if I recall correctly. And he could have just said, well, that's it. Instead, he got to work. And through his career, he's learned to work harder and harder and harder at what he knew he needed to do, at the right things. And so for us, we can apply that. Make sure you're pursuing the right things that are good and helpful and beneficial. Okay. Continue to filter those, make sure you're going the right direction. But if you have that, then get to work and understand that it may be slow. Progress may be slow. For most people who are attaining anything, it's the standard curve, right? Just like with investing, you work and you work and you work and you work and you work, and then all of a sudden you're an overnight success. And it's the same, it's musicians, again, very famously. You labor away playing gigs and bars and small groups, and getting better and better. And that's actually an opportunity to refine your music and refine your talent and your ability. And you're doing it in obscurity. And then one day you're discovered and you become an overnight success. Um, and it's the same way with everything else. You'll work in obscurity. You might feel like you're talking into the wind, and that no one is listening, no one is hearing, but you don't know who's noticing your habits and the way you carry yourself and the ideas that you're expressing. You don't know. Sometimes people hear what you're saying, they don't do anything with it right then, and it just plants a seed and it sits for 6 months. And then that idea will come back around in a leadership meeting or from leadership itself, when the time is right or when it's had enough time to sink in and they've been able to own it, to make it their own. But if you have the true and good ideas and you're applying yourselves to those, then that can happen. And then you too can be an overnight success. All of a sudden everyone will go, "Oh my gosh, you're so lucky." It's like, no, Elon Musk talking about people say how he's so lucky, yet for years he was sleeping on the factory floor, working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, just grinding himself to a pulp, and now he's lucky. Well, you too can be lucky in that same way. We all have that opportunity, right? So ideas are powerful, and some things are just worth doing. So do them because they're good and they're right. And going down that path, it will at least change you. If you're discouraged that other things around you aren't changing, understand at least you are. You're getting positive change from this, guaranteed. And so that is a huge gain, and is a huge gain for your family, friends, and business as well. All right. So having said all that, what's our homework for today? Well, choose one idea to champion. Choose one idea that for you is non-negotiable, that you know this is a good thing. Businesses that adopt this mindset, this mentality, this principle, it's better for the business. It's better for my coworkers. It's better for me. It's better for my team. One that is just clearly that you can start out with, that it's clear. This is very important, and then find ways to champion that idea, to bring it up in a positive context, in its proper place and proper time, and be committed to continuing to bring up that idea and how it can improve things in your work culture, in your environment. Find different ways to introduce it, and then continue to refine it too. You'll find as you do that, your views on that principle might change slightly. And you do want to continue to reinforce and check that, yes, this is right, this is good, this is true. But then continue to press forward with it politely, pleasantly, but persistently, so that that idea works its way in to your culture. The business I was referring to earlier, it took time. From what I was being told, it took time to see toxic team members exit. It took time for everything to take root to where there was just this good habits formed that created a good culture, where it's not a fear-based culture, but a trust-based culture. And they've been able to achieve so much. And of course, now then it starts to build on itself as you have success. Now you have more weight, more authority to push your ideas forward and say, no, this is the way we do it. It's better. You have more proof of that, right? But anyway, that's basically what I've got today. Choose that one idea to champion, and stick with it. And don't be discouraged when other people don't listen right away. You're not even necessarily looking for an immediate change. You're just looking for the opportunity to plant the seeds, to get the idea out there, let it grow on its own. Set the truth free. It'll defend itself. And never be afraid to speak the truth in a right way, in a caring, proper way. But speak what is true. And what is true will ultimately be for the best of everyone. So that's it for today. Thanks so much for joining. Really appreciate you taking the time. please be sure to spread the word that um, that about this little podcast if it's beneficial to you, and even if it's not, it might be beneficial to someone else. Not every episode is for everyone, so please share it anyway. We're not looking to do big advertising push or anything like that. I am trusting that if we are hitting the nail on the head for people and we're being helpful, that you would share that along so that more and more people can benefit from that. And again, hopefully we can develop a community around these ideas, that it's a regular encouragement for people within our different business environments, and provide some continuity as people shift between business environments as well. So anyway, thanks again. Be sure to look us up on X and on LinkedIn and on Rumble and YouTube, and our favorite locals. Get an account on locals, join there so that we can start to build a community, and let's see where we go from there. Let's see what we can do. Let's see what we can do together. And again, it's appreciated. And just remember, till next time, keep on dancing. Thanks again.